Hi everyone, in this video we will be talking about functions, how it is implemented in JavaScripting. Just like in some other languages like C or C++ or Java, they functions are used in solving a certain problem or a certain big problem which consists of different tasks. Okay, so there are several advantages of using function. One is you subdivide the task according to function, so you can solve the problem one at a time according to the task that you wanted to solve. Another one is you can reuse the function. You can invoke the function if it is necessary or once it is necessary without rewriting the code. You just simply call the name of the function if it is applicable or even applied in within the function. Another one is it is convenient to debug the errors. If there, say for instance, the error occurs in that specific function, then you will be working only on that task or in that function instead of going or browsing or looking for some other errors in in the code or in the entire code. So it would be easy for you to locate the error wherever whenever it occurs while the program is running. Another one is reusability. Just like what I have mentioned, you can invoke the function anywhere once it is necessary or once it is applicable. And also another one is um, organization, code organization. Once the code is implemented in function, then the codes will be organized accordingly, no? And it would be easy for you, just like what as I have mentioned, it would be easy for you to debug the error. The next advantage would be it is optimized, or if it needs to say that it is the efficiency, no, the efficiency of the code, or like, yeah, um, it is faster. The execution is faster once the program or the codes are properly organized, and at the same time it would also save memory utilization. There are four ways to implement a function. It's either a function with no return value, or it's either function with returning value or return value, and then the other one is um, function with pass by value parameter, or you can also use the reference, pass by reference, something like that. In this video we will be concentrating more on the implementation of function with no returning value. Okay, so in the previous lesson I discussed to you on how to insert JavaScript in your HTML code. So JavaScript can be written in the head, or it can also be written inside the body. So in this case, since we will be implementing function with no return value, we will be creating script inside the head tag, and at the same time we will invoke the function inside the body tag. Okay, so for example, our problem is adding two numbers. So in this case, in my example, I'll be using the console.log to test the function. So we will use that one. Okay, so we'll be writing the name of the function here, or declaring the function add here. In the script, inside the head tag, we just write here function. The syntax for declaring a function is the word function and then the name. Let's say add, and then the parentheses, and then next is the curly bracket. So first is word function, and then the name of the function with the paired parentheses, and then the code of your function should also be inside the curly bracket. So the first thing to do, just like in other programming languages, you need to declare the variables that you are going to use within the function. Since we are going to add two numbers, make sure that you declare variables. Two variables for the first number, and then another one for the second number, and then the third one that holds a variable that holds for the sum of the two numbers, just like that. The next one is you are going to declare the formula and adding two numbers, let's say x plus y, just like that. And then the next one would be we are going to print the result using the console.log, and then call the variable that holds the result. Okay, let's try this one if it's working. Now, as I have mentioned, function could only the result of the function could only be seen once it is invoked within the body tag. Since our name here, the name of the function is add, then we have to call the add here to check whether it is working or not. Okay, let us try to save. And then we're working on JavaScript func1.html. Let's try to see that one in the browser. Refresh, and then we have NaN. It means there is an error, not a number. Okay, let's try to check or debug our code. So this is line 10. So we have to locate the line 10, sum here. Now the error here is that there is no such value for x and y. So therefore, our JavaScript doesn't recognize the x and y. So let's try, since we're using the console.log, let's try to create or assign value for x and y. For instance, this is 4, and then the y is 6. Okay, so let's try to save it back and then refresh. So we have the result here, 10. So it means to say that our function add is working already. Okay, so this is basically the function with no return value. So why is it called with no return value? Because we did not pass the value of the sum to the main body just to print the result. The activity happened within the function. Okay, so let's try to create another function. Let's say average of two numbers. Again, we have function, and then the name. Let's say we are going to name that one here, and then the curly bracket. So let's save we still have to declare var since it's another function. So we're not doing any passing of values here. We create locally the variables x and y, and also the average within the average function, let's say ave, and then we also have to put the value here locally. Okay, and then same thing, you declare the formula in getting the average. So our variable here is ave, so we'll use ave, and then declare the formula in getting the average, and then divided by 2. So the sum of two numbers divided by 2, and then we use console.log to print the result, which is average, or the ave, something like that. Okay, let's try to check. Now we have not invoked yet the function average in the main body of our code. So we have to invoke here average, and then of course the parentheses. Okay, let's try to check. Control S, and then we're gonna refresh. So what we have here is 10, which is the sum, and then this one is the average of two numbers. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. So our average function and also sum is working. So just like that. So this is basically how you write function with no return value. Again, just like what I have mentioned just a while ago, why it's called with function with no return value, because we are not passing the result to the main body of our script here, somewhere here. Okay, so all the events or the activities are contained within the function add and function average. So just like that. I hope you learned something from this discussion.